Welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Today we're going to talk about everything and anything we didn't have a chance to talk at the first place. Now, today is going to be much easier, I think, because first of all, we got a better background and we kind of got a lot of bullshit out of the way the first time, right?
Exactly.
So you prepared some questions.
Yeah, but today is also going to be a bunch of bullshit, like every other day in affiliate life. I don't really know where to start. I have a lot of questions for you because I think you've been here and there in the industry.
Bit, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Not only in the industry, I've been around.
Yeah, I don't think people know you know.
Oh, that's kind of podcast, right? We're talking about me right now.
Yeah. Why not? I think you're an impressive guy that people are going to find interesting. You know, self-made millionaire, a father, pretty great guy.
I don't know. So, there's a lot of people going to call me an asshole and a douchebag,
probably.
and all of the rest. But I do feel lucky that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so fortunate being here doing this podcast, and not because I'm sitting in a nice house and we're in Barcelona and we're talking about money and that kind of bullshit. I remember the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember the bullshit at the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember school and not getting anything. And sitting in class and not only not knowing the answer, not understanding the question. And all of the bullshit that came along with not understanding myself and the fears and all of those kind of things, and everybody telling you you're not going to become anything because you're not going to school, because you're not listening to people who are older than you. You know, we have authority,
stuff like that.
Stuff like that, and then just going around with the feeling that this is not right, this is weird.
Yeah.
And now today, when I'm almost 40 and I can sit here and I can talk to a camera, and I don't feel embarrassed because I didn't steal from anybody. I didn't lie to anybody. I was just being me for my entire life, and it paid off. I feel super lucky.
That's great.
I feel super lucky.
So
and
today
that's
you're
amazing.
36 years old, right? 38.
38.
Oh.
You can see by the hair falling out.
Yeah. I want to ask you, as somebody who's 26 today, I wanted to ask you, what is your biggest mistakes? What are your biggest successes in life? The question you basically ask entrepreneurs, because a lot of people would like to hear that. They're at the start of their way. They want to know how to continue, how to build themselves up. And I think you might have the answers.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Right? And we're talking about that a lot. You and me are kind of similar. I think that's the reason we can work together. Yeah. And that's the reason that I have the energy to explain stuff and you want to hear some stuff, and I'm learning from you certain things and you can learn from me certain things. It takes that kind of a person. It doesn't matter about the age. But again, feeling lucky, that's pretty much all I have to say, because we can all go back to a certain point in our life when I made the right decision, but you didn't know it was the right decision. So telling you right now you got to do that decision isn't right. I know there are some basic things in life who helped me tremendously. Traveling, which I'm always talking to you about. That. You got to travel. You got to go. You got to see the world, because nothing compares. No learning and no school can teach you like a first-hand sight of something unreal. Yeah. The first sight of the Red Rock in Petra was amazing to me when I was 20-something. Seeing two kids in Vietnam just fighting over a stick, playing, but fighting over a stick, and that was enough for them. That was an amazing experience. Going through the desert in South Africa and just like, this is endless. This is endless. It gives you perspective. Climbing the Himalayas gives you perspective. Doing all those kind of things kind of teaches you something about yourself. And I'm always telling you, and I learned it from YouTube myself, obviously from much more successful people than I, that you can go and do anything, but you got to improve yourself first. Yes. It's the most important thing, because if I'm not worthy of a situation that I will encounter in my life in 10 years, in 5 years, it's not worth anything. Yeah. If I go to school right now, I'm going to study a subject, which is great, which is good. But I didn't have the opportunity to go to school well and feel myself at home there. It's not possible for me to sit in one place at that age, especially. Today it's much easier when, it's my cameras, it's my house, and I'm talking to a friend. Yeah. But when you go and you start to improve yourself and you start learning about yourself in the tough situations, in the interesting situation, you say no to the regular shit in life and you just like, well, obviously I can go to my job tomorrow, but I can discover something new. And if I will be able to discover something new, I will be able to use that in future references and in future references. Again, it's very lucky. You know, because not being able to go to school gave me the opportunity to learn different things. And not being able to hold on one job gave me the opportunity of a variety of jobs. And not being able to do certain things gave me the option to find myself in other things.
Yeah.
It's being lucky, man. It's not, nobody's smarter, nobody's more capable. It's just my fears that I'm not going to be somebody helped me push forward and forward in all of those hard stages when I needed to prove myself. Because if, for example, if you think that at 26, I want to be somebody, you want to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
But you know you got to do the hard stuff in life. Right? Because if you don't do the hard stuff in life, you're not going to be somebody, right? To some people, it's not that important to be somebody. They don't feel different. You and I feel different than other people. When you look at everybody going to their job and you don't want to do that, you feel different. When you see everybody's trying to learn something specific and you want to learn other things, you feel different. You don't want to go to that same old place. And that gives you the opportunity not to give up when times become hard.
Yeah.
That gave me those opportunities. That's why I'm always bitching to you. Go out. It doesn't matter. Go out. That fly is going to mess with you the entire podcast.
Dude. It's not leaving me alone.
Go out. Travel the world. Because if you travel the world, you don't have an opinion that the news gives you. You cannot hate different color people or different ethnicity or different religion when you meet the people and you like the people. It's not possible. It's not possible to believe in one kind of bullshit if you saw 4 kinds of bullshit. It's not possible to hate somebody when everybody's smiling to you personally, not looking at the news. You go to the favelas in Brazil, you can meet nice people. Don't wear a gold watch because it's a hard place, you know, it's a hard time. But don't wear a gold watch when you're going to, you know, the fun streets in Barcelona, right? Or in Tel Aviv as well. Just experience and experience and experience. And that helped me tremendously. Being a little fucked up in the head also helps, but you know, experience.
I think I learned that from you, you know, that going out of your comfort zone. I did a lot of things this year that I never done in my entire life. You know, I've traveled to many places. I think I flew for, I don't know, to like 10, 11 countries this year. This is more than I've done in my entire life. And I remember talking to you about Greece, if you remember, Athens, and I told you
I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if it's worth it.
This month been a little bit weak and stuff like that, and you persuade me to actually go to Athens, and I think that was a really powerful moment for me because I got out of my comfort zone and I said, fuck this, I'm going and I want to experience this city. I want to experience the history it has, and it was amazing. And another experience that I've never done is actually hiking. I never went hiking in my life.
Which is hilarious because he runs the Hike Guy, which is a website about hiking. Now the motherfucking does SEO and does everything to sell you hiking gear, but he never went to the mountains.
I mean, I'm a businessman. I'm not a hiker. That's everybody online. Everybody online lies about their persona to sell you something. That's how we work. We're affiliates. We care about the money. Fuck hiking. But actually, yesterday I went hiking in the Montserrat here in Barcelona. It's not some hiking place, you know. It's more of like a tourist attraction. But you do go up the mountain, and I gotta say that since yesterday I've been feeling different. You know, it's just peaceful. The anxiety levels in my body just went down. I slept well, and it's kind of weird to me, you know, that what it can do to your mental health. And I think I'm going to incorporate a little bit more of
just a little bit more. Don't decide what more. Just a little bit more of everything. Because I love how we met.
I remember that.
Because that's not a normal situation to meet somebody, right? That's not a normal situation, and it's a funny story. And I love that story because I'm older and I won. And I'm never going to forget that story. And basically, that's a good time to tell it. We met at a restaurant in Kiev. right? You were there with your dad and his friend is my friend because we ride motorcycles together. And we started talking in the restaurants because you were trying to find yourself. I'm kind of younger than your dad and his friend, but I'm kind of older than you, so I was stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Everybody was telling you like you're gonna understand when you grow up and find a job and stuff like that, and I was kind of saying that but differently. And then in some point I told you, let's do a push-up competition because you were an asshole and you were talking about I do boxing, I do this, I do that, because you're a bullshitter. That's cool. That's a salesman. We should all be there. Ask you how much money you got in your wallet, right? And whatever you got at, I'm gonna put the same amount and let's do push-ups. You only lost because your breath wasn't good.
Yeah, my breathing was bad.
Your breathing was too fast because you were anxious. You were anxious to win. You were in a situation that was out of your comfort zone. You never met somebody who told you, let's do push-ups after you drank a little in a restaurant in Kiev. That's the only reason you lost. Physically, you could have won.
Maybe.
But that's the thing. That's the getting out of the comfort zone. That's finding yourself in a situation when somebody at the table is a multi-millionaire businessman, somebody else owns a garage, right? You got your dad, his friend, you got me. You don't know who anybody is, and you just gotta be there. You just got to be a person. And the more stories you have, the more experience you have in different situations, the more you left your comfort zone in life, the more you're equipped to deal with any situation that encounters you. And that's it. That's it. I can go to any bar and find a fight I can win. I'm not talking about physically fighting somebody. Just fighting a war I can win. Not losing. It can be against the toughest guy. It can be against the smartest guy. You just got to find your niche, right? And getting out of that comfort zone gives you the tools. You cannot lose yourself in 10 years if you put yourself in yourself right now. If you put all of your effort in traveling, lowering your anxiety, understanding how high of a mountain you can climb, understanding how low you can dive, understanding how far you can walk, understanding how much rounds in boxing you can do, understanding what's your lowest point, understanding what's your highest point. When you get all those perspectives, it's tools. And then when your business fails at 30, you don't give a fuck because you can build a new one. You're not
tools.
Reliant on the situation. You're reliant on yourself. You're not reliant on your partner and then it's his fault because you lost your business. Or my wife is treating me bad, or my something, or the place I'm living at is bad. I need to change it. You're reliant only on yourself. That gives you all the tools you need. That gives you all the opportunity you need. And although we have anxiety and we got fears and we're talking a lot about our mental state, but that gives you a lot of tools to handle that as well. Because in the end of the day, if you can trust yourself, because you're the only person who brought you here. There's a reason you're not sitting in Akko anymore and you're traveling the world and you flew to 10 different countries right now because you made the step. And if you continue to do that step over and over again, doesn't matter what that step is, over and over again and over and over again, you cannot lose at 30. It's not possible for you to lose at 40. You cannot be homeless at 50 because you're getting all those tools. You're getting all that perspective. You're getting all that information that you can use in a later conversation with another person, with another business, with another something and something and something. You just become smarter. You just become better. And that's the most important thing. Because money ain't gonna solve nothing.
I think that comfort, well, there's a big fight going on there.
This is Spain, guys. Everybody loves dogs, and dogs can do whatever they want here. So,
what I learned in this year is that comfort is the killer of goals and dreams, and you're not going anywhere if you're in your comfort zone. I remember a few times when I had scheduled a call with a client and I was scared. I was thinking to myself, what am I going to say? How am I going to act? I really need to, close this deal. And it was really tough on me. My comfort zone told me to just cancel it, fuck that shit, I don't need that shit. I need to just stay in my comfort zone. But, my brain told me, you gotta go and get it. You gotta be better than that. And I took the call and I talked to those people, and I remember getting that deal that I really needed that made me good money in the end of the day. So in my opinion, what I've seen throughout this year, that staying in your comfort zone is just so bad, and even today I'm trying to kind of get out of there every time that I want to do something, and I also don't want to do something because of my anxiety. For example, sitting here doing this podcast, this is weird for me.
It's weird for everybody.
Scary,
listening to your voice, talking honestly about your feelings, about your achievements, because again, we're like, I'm Soviet, you're Ukrainian, the only thing you're getting taught in your family, shut up. Shut up.
Go to work. Go to
work.
factory.
Shut up. Don't do anything that somebody else can take away from you. Don't think you're all of that because somebody's going to take it away from you and stuff like that. Everything you were taught, everything I was taught is against doing a podcast right now.
Yeah. This is really weird, but in the end of the day, you got to think about the good things that come out of it. I'm anxious right now. I'm anxious to create podcasts. I'm anxious about talking to a camera. It's kind of weird. I don't know what I have to say. I don't know if even I'm an interesting person. Maybe I'm just a pretentious kid. Somebody watches this, thinks, who the fuck is that guy?
Nobody's going to watch this though.
Yeah, who cares?
One of the things that I wanted to start YouTube for is not for the viewer. It's for myself.
Exactly.
Because I'm so ashamed of turning a camera on myself. I'm so anxious about how it's going to turn out. Will I be able to speak well? Will my ideas be interesting? Will somebody give me a call later on like, you're an idiot, why did you do that? How the hell do you think? What do you think about yourself? How can you do this and how can you do that? But in the end of the day, that's just fears in my head. And being able to turn on a camera and look at the camera and say, well, you know what? This is my opinion. And this is what I want to say. We got to shoot a dog or two. And this is what... Sorry. And this is what I want to do. Wow, really?
Oh, going crazy here.
Somebody's doing a fight. That's a dog fight. I don't think anybody's going to hear us over that though.
Yeah, running the podcast dogs.
Doing this kind of thing only teaches me to take a step forward. It doesn't matter how many subscribers I have. Fucking dogs. And somebody's playing with them. This is one of the problems of doing podcasts outside. It looks much better than the office, but we got outside to take care of.
Yeah, a lot of noise.
So basically, I hate doing this just as much as you do. I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know why. I'm anxious about how it's going to turn out. Why? Nobody's watching. And all of those feelings are not real. They're not real because nobody cares. Wow, really?
It seems like this dog cares.
Yeah. And when you're able to take a step forward, not just out of your comfort zone, but to make your comfort zone bigger and bigger with every step, then it's possible for you to acknowledge new things. Because one of the tools that I really like, and me and my ex-partner invented for ourselves, is worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario?
Somebody's going to laugh at us. Say something mean in the comments.
If somebody's going to watch my YouTube, it's going to be an achievement, not a failure. Nobody's going to watch this. And at the end of the day, if somebody does watch it and he thinks, oh, that's two guys are idiots. Who's that?
Who cares? I think that takes a lot of balls to be able to do something that you're scared of. That's bravery in the end of the day.
I don't know if it's bravery.
It's not too brave, I'm not saving a woman from a rapist or a fire, but it still teaches me a lot to sit here and talk. And I thought about the benefits that go into that come from doing this. And for me, it's being able to formulate sentences. Fine?
No, I'm anxious. I'm nervous. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, so the good things that come from this podcast is being able to formulate your answers better, is thinking on the spot, things like that I think I need improvement.
As a salesman.
Sometimes I struggle to say what I think. I struggle to formulate my sentences in a good way, because when you watch guys like, I don't know, Patrick Bet-David, for example, or other interviewers, they're very fluent. They know how to speak and it just sounds good.
They have more experience.
Yes, exactly. This is experience right here. So in a year, we might create the best podcasts ever. But right now we're
Probably
just,
not.
Probably not. But right now we're just two idiots in
nice
Barcelona.
place.
Yeah, just talking and drinking whatever it's called.
That's
in
malt drinks. I don't know, kvass. If somebody knows that from the Russian audience,
some Russian Soviets.
I think if you're not willing to start your experience, you're not going to get any, right? Because how am I supposed to be somebody who's quick on his feet and somebody who can sell something, or just somebody who can say, yeah, I did a few podcasts.
Yeah.
In a later conversation. It could be a conversation at a Formula One event in 2 years in Barcelona when I buy tickets and I come with my kid, but I meet somebody interesting. We start a conversation about content creation, and yeah, I did some podcasts.
Yeah.
I know not to do them at my house because of the dogs right now. That's experience. Yeah. I know to make them at a certain hour because of the sunlight. That's experience. I can say I'm not as anxious to come on camera and talk to somebody because I already did that a few times.
Yeah.
That's experience. If I gather that kind of experience in every aspect of my life or every aspect that I feel interested in, I just have more tools. And then if I'm scared, I just ask myself, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Is somebody going to hit me? Is somebody going to take my something away from me? Is somebody going to laugh at me? Who will that be? Who's that person? If it's somebody really who has achievements, he's never going to laugh at you because he was in the same place at one point or another, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody who's without achievements and without a word about, the subject or something, who cares? Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's not the kind of person we want to even listen to or just hear negative thoughts about. And today we are met with a lot of negativity, but I think from the inside. Because honestly, nobody is giving us bad reviews. Nobody is going to tell you, oh, you're an idiot, you're just sitting and doing a podcast. Everybody's going to ask, oh, how'd you do it?
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be your 3 friends and my 2 friends are going to watch this, right? Yeah. Nobody else. But if we take that kind of inspiration to do something to everything else, we're going to be winners.
Exactly.
It's not possible for you to lose if you get an experience.
Even if I see somebody who's, I don't know, making a shit podcast, it happened to me. I saw people, small people make shit podcasts, or I saw people try to open a business and it was a bad business. But I'm your biggest fan, honestly. You are a star to me because, you're trying. A lot of people aren't even trying. Exactly. A lot of people sit there and just think to themselves, oh, what weed am I going to smoke today, or something like that. If you're doing something productive, then I'm with you, I'll help you, I'll
encourage you, I'll support you, yeah.
Exactly. And I think the positivity is a great thing.
Which also needs experience.
Yeah.
Because if you never believe that somebody's going to think positively about you, you're never going to start. And it's kind of an endless cycle.
Yeah.
I want to create my business, but I'm going to fail. I want to start a YouTube, but I'm going to fail. I want to get a job, but I'm probably going to fail. And that failure leads to more failure.
Yeah.
I remember reading Jordan Peterson, the 10 rules of life or something like that, which I didn't finish because it was boring as hell. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
But I remember the first chapter, I think about crustaceans, which is, again, boring as hell. But the main gist of it was, if you win a fight, then you walk a little bit higher with your chest up. And then you have more probability to win the next fight.
Yeah, because you believe in yourself.
And that kind of energy is really important. And just stand strong.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Do something.
I think he talked about crabs or something.
Yeah, that's crustaceans. That's crabs.
Crustaceans, okay.
And I only know that word, by the way, because of that book. I'm not that smart. I didn't use it anywhere else in life. But that kind of a message is important to us.
Yeah.
I had an ex-employee call me a few days ago, I think a week ago. I want to start an app. I want your expertise about it. And I told him, I don't have any expertise about your app and about any app. If you put your mind to anything you want, there's a good chance you can do it. But first you got to fail 100 times.
Yeah.
That's it. How many apps did you try to do? This is the first one. You're going to fail. That's it. That's it. And that's cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the app is. It doesn't matter how good your idea is. It doesn't matter how well you're going to do it. You're going to fail, and then you need to fail another 99 times, and then you might be able to succeed.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to do this app. No, but if you say it's going to fail, but you need the failure for the 100th app to work.
You can succeed.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Not possible.
The second message I gave him is, first advertise it. because it doesn't matter. He wanted to do something about furniture and AR, and I'm going to put it in your house. I think IKEA did it like a bunch of time ago or something, but he had his own twist and his own idea. Told him it doesn't matter, really doesn't matter. Put $50 on Facebook ads, just spread it around and see if people register. That's it. If people register, start thinking about it. If people don't, chuck it up to your experience. But then you move quickly to the second app. On the second app, you do the same thing, but you get a little interest. You start building the app. You fail there, but you get experience in building. The third app, you move along and you move along and you move along until on the 50th app, you got a product that you advertised, you went through the entire ordeal, and you have more information about the situation. And then you might be able to succeed, but you're probably going to fail. And then the next 20 apps, and the next 30 apps, and on the 100th app, if you actually went through the entire cycle of every app and you learned something in every kind of way that you could, and you tried everything that you're supposed to try, you might succeed. Your ideas will be better. Your thought process will be better because you already failed at many things because you didn't think about that kind of thing or that kind of thing or the third kind of thing. So that experience helps us a lot.
It can be very discouraging to fail, but I always tell people that failure is necessary. You cannot go without failure. Failure, first of all, teaches you a lot about the business, and it also teaches you about yourself. I remember sitting at home at like 16, I had an idea about this website that I wanted to create. And I remember I just couldn't figure out how to create that specific, how to figure out that problem. It was something about Ajax, it's like a programming language. But until I got to that problem, I developed the whole website already, and I got stuck at that problem. So nowadays, when I can create websites easily, I look back at that problem and I say I won. That failure was the reason why I'm good at this today, why I can create really good websites, why I can create good themes, and I can program a lot of things, because I struggled and I learned and I learned and I learned.
And it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Exactly, yeah. All these failures that I've endured.
And you just started, by the way. You're a 26-year-old.
Every time I fail today, I'm happy about it. When I was 16, I wasn't happy about it. I was miserable. I was like, fuck, I'm an idiot. How can I fail at this? Like, how am I so stupid? But in the end of the day, it's fine. You guys fail. And
we all do.
Yeah,
we all do.
It'll be fine. Just I'm trying to teach that to my little brother, when he fails. I want him to show resilience.
And what is the failure we are so afraid of? I mean, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be out of a job. Am I going to become a drug addict? Am I going to get beaten on the streets? I don't know. What's the failure we're so ashamed of and so embarrassed to come to that situation? If we're going to fail, what's going to happen? Nothing.
I think it's society most likely, because especially when you're a man, you got to provide. You got to provide for your family. You see your dad going to the factory every single day. I remember that. He wakes up, goes to the factory, comes home very late. He's very tired, and he goes to sleep. But in the end of the day, we have some cheese and bread in the
immigrant kind of life.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what you're taught, that if you're not going to do something about yourself, this is going to be your life. You're going to just go to the factory every day. You're going to go and clean the streets or stuff like that. So you have to study. You have to provide.
But again, that failure. Let's say you came to the streets. Now you're a street cleaner. Which, by the way, could be a good business by itself. It depends how much you get paid. Maybe you can hire other people. Maybe you can grow from that as well. But let's say you're on the streets and you're cleaning the streets right now. Okay, so can you clean the streets tomorrow as well?
Yeah, of course.
You got time to think. Can you do it for a week? Nothing's going to happen to you, right? You're just going to clean streets for a week. You got a week to think. You can plan yourself. You can just make the right moves from now on. Just think about it. It's not a failure. It's a pause.
Of course.
It's just a pause when you have time to think. If you're in a certain business and you're in a high business, like it's high moving, it's high risk and everything, you're afraid to lose the business. But if you fail, you just get a pause. And then you can start over. You can do things differently. You can do things smarter. You can plan yourself better. That's not a real failure. I mean, what is? We're always afraid of that, but what it is really, and nobody has the answer.
I think we're scared of ourselves. I think we're scared of saying to ourselves, I'm a loser, I lost, I failed, stuff like that. Because I think we see ourselves highly, you know, like every person, I think, sees himself as the highest. I don't know how to really say that, how to formulate, but I love myself, you know, I don't want
And
that.
not everybody loves themselves, by the way.
I guess, but in my opinion, nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to feel even worse about themselves. You know, it's a fear. No matter how much you can hate yourself, but you don't want to fail. You don't want to see yourself fail. You don't want your mom to see you fail. You don't want your family to see you fail. You want to have a sense of pride to yourself and also to your family and friends. Most people don't like seeing, for example, a friend make it, because it shines a light upon themselves and they look at themselves and say, I'm a failure because somebody else is better than me. So cleaning the streets is mostly just shameful to many people, you know.
Because they compare themselves.
Because they compare themselves.
I remember I saw it on YouTube or someplace. If you get like the best BMW in the world, like the sportiest, the thing is, and only you have it, you made your money, you won it in a raffle, doesn't matter. You feel great.
Yeah.
You're cruising down the street, you got the roof off, you got everything you ever wanted, because there's a difference between you and the other people.
Yeah.
But if you have the same car and everybody else has it as well, you don't feel as happy.
Exactly.
That's screwed up. You still have the car.
Yeah.
You weren't taking anything from you. Nobody grabbed something. Nobody took something from you. You still have all the joy that you had before. But because you're not comparing yourself to others, you feel like you don't have it anymore. And that's weird. That's traffic, by the way. If you're driving down the road, you're going like 100 miles per hour or 70 or whatever the legal miles per hour is, and somebody overtakes you and puts their car in front of you, you feel like you lost a spot. You're still moving 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You're still going the same speed to the same direction. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's touching you. Nobody's anything. But you get mad because somebody took that place.
Yeah.
That's just comparison.
Yeah.
Why do you care? And then you go around, who cares about what other things?
Yeah.
Who cares about what's happening in the world? Who cares about this? Who cares about that? But you're always comparing yourself. And one of the things I like about Stoicism is understanding that you don't need much for happiness. And if you do rely on stuff for happiness, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Because stuff are not going to be there forever. I bought a nice guitar I always wanted. I'm like, oh, this is the best guitar. Like, everybody has this, and like my idols had it, and everybody, I like this color. I emailed a bunch of stores. I got it at home. It's beautiful. It's amazing. 2 weeks later, oh, this one looks a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? And then why am I doing that? Why am I sitting at my computer and on the web just looking at nicer looking guitar? What makes them nicer looking? It's just my idiot brain looking for something. He's not happy with himself for some reason, and is hiding that behind stuff. I'm driving down the road. I was going to France or something, I think, from here, and I'm driving down the road. Everything's good. Everything's nice. I have a nice SUV, and I get overtaken by a Porsche Cayenne, which I don't know if it's even nicer than my Mercedes, but I get overtaken by it, and I'm looking, oh, that's a really cool car. Maybe I should save up some money and, like, upgrade my car. And then, what? Why was that thought even in my head? Why am I sitting here in a nice car, driving, minding my own business, and then feeling jealous about somebody else on the road? How does that relate to my life?
I wonder if it's a men problem or also a female problem.
I don't know. I don't understand them. Neither will you ever.
Probably. I just see it a lot in men. I don't see it a lot in women, because I think men kind of compare themselves more to each other, because there's like this
we're different.
Yeah,
First of all, men or women are different.
We want to win all the time. We want to be the best.
Maybe we need to win, right? I don't know, and that may be a bad opinion or something, but right, girls always have that problem, like I'm too fat, I'm not attractive, I'm like this, because of magazines and beauty standards and stuff we honestly don't understand, because I love my wife, doesn't matter how much she weighs, and I'm always giving her spaghetti, by the way, and like, no, fuck it, I need to lose weight, and she's fighting that fight, not me.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with my opinion, nothing to do with how I feel or am I attracted to her, just her own personal opinion. And I think girls have that. But nobody talks about when you grow up as a guy, you're like, you'll need to work, right?
Yeah.
Why do I need to work? Nobody told me I need to work.
Yeah.
Where should I work? What am I supposed to do? You need to figure it out. I need to figure it out? Did you all figure it out?
Yeah.
Like, why am I stuck in this situation? Society told them they need to be pretty. Well, society told us we need to be somebody. But they didn't say somebody who. They just said somebody. And we're kind of lost. And we're dumber than ladies. You know, we are.
Yeah.
We are. It's so obvious to me right now, because I have a son and a daughter, and he's like, I love that little angel of a son that I have, but she's way smarter.
Yeah.
She's way smarter.
Yeah.
She's the devil in disguise, and she's sharp, and she understands everything, and he's like 6, she's like 2.5, and everybody's afraid of her because of that little sparkle in her eye, because she understands everything. So they're way smarter than us, and we're kind of lost. We're like stupid little monkeys walking around like, oh, I need that shit, I need that shit, I need to fight somebody, I need bigger things, I need to attract that female, so I need to be or have something more than I already have, because obviously I'm not enough. Why am I not enough? Why am I bad? Because I'm not attractive, right? I don't have enough money. I'm not strong enough. I'm not able. But why do I have those feelings? Who told me I'm not able? Who told me I'm not attractive? Like, obviously, if somebody gets laid, somebody found him attractive. And in the end of the day, everybody gets laid.
Not everybody.
Everybody. Maybe not that much, but everybody does.
I promise you that not everybody. I personally know people who are like struggling, but
they're probably struggling because of themselves.
I think it's their own fault. I think it's, you know, stuff
they're
like,
not struggling because they went out, they give their best shot, they tried, and somebody turned them down. They're struggling because they never left home, because they have that feeling inside that I'm not worth it, nobody wants me, and they have their eyes down, and they have all the problems in their mind. It's just society telling us bad shit. Not only girls, but boys as well. And today's society is telling you awful shit. That's
exactly,
that's a whole different world, and that's a whole different problem. But again, I think it's our responsibility, because right now I got kids, and it doesn't matter what they see on TV. It's my job to educate them about life. It doesn't matter what they see on the street. It's my job to educate them about life. If my kid is feeling lost, then somewhere along the way, I didn't give him the opportunity to express himself, the feeling that he can come and ask me the questions he needs to ask me, or just the right tools to handle a certain situation. And it's my fault. And I'm very clear about that with my kids. Like, you're not supposed to hear this. You're not supposed to hear that. There are different people in life. You got to respect everybody, but everybody has to respect you as well. If you're not sure, you're not sure. You don't have to give an answer. If you're afraid, you're afraid. You don't have to be brave. If you want to do something, and it's legal, obviously, you know, stuff like that, go on and do it. And if you feel that there's a problem here, come to somebody you trust. Who do you trust? Go to that person. And that's it. And it's our job by the end of the day. But we all still feel it. Like, I open YouTube and I see somebody who's really cool. Shit, I gotta hit the gym, right? I gotta be buff. Oh, I see somebody more rich. I need to make some money. I'm just bullshitting. I see somebody there. Man, I'm not good enough. I need a hair transplant. I need to get my teeth straightened. Oh man, I need to learn another language. I need this. I need that. But why? Why am I not happy?
Would you like to get rid of that feeling, or?
I don't know.
I think it drives.
It drives to a certain point, but it's not that easy at times as well.
I think men really like exclusivity. That's why things that are rare, they cost more money. The more exclusive it is, the more money it costs, the more value it has, even with women, for example.
If you work harder, that means more to you. if it was harder to achieve. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that car, if you have all the money and you got that BMW or whatever,
Yeah.
it's not as fun as if you really, really put yourself into it.
Yeah. I'm happy about growing up poor. I
Yeah,
don't want to be.
I'm so happy about growing up
Yeah,
poor.
exactly.
I'm so happy about growing up poor. I can't even express myself.
There's value to things now, because I think rich kids that never had to struggle for anything, they're not the same. They're not like you and me.
Maybe. I don't have anything against rich kids. I
Yeah.
used to have, because growing up poor, I was jealous, obviously.
Sucks, of course.
But today, I'm looking at my kids, and they grew up in a nice house, right?
Yeah.
They live in a nice neighborhood. They got a pool in their house. They go to private schools.
Yeah.
So I'm raising those rich motherfuckers. But being a poor idiot in my own mind gives me the opportunity to teach them things. Like, don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
This is not something that's normal. Like, this is something you should be really thankful for. This is not something you should act out, or this is not something that's just given to everybody. I'm trying to teach them that. And I had a friend ask me, like, the same question exactly. Your kids are not gonna know like how to fix a car in a dirty mountain road, just like you remember that one time when we got stuck and we fixed
Yeah.
our own car. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna have a nice car. They don't need to know how to fix like an old manual Ford shitty, car. And the cars today, it's not possible to fix them.
Yeah.
On the road. It's not the same car. It's computers and everything. So if you're not a programming engineer or something, it's not possible for you to even touch a car today. So it's not the same tools. It's like saying, oh, your kid cannot work with wood or build his own furniture. Well, yeah, he can't.
He doesn't
I
have
can't
to.
as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to, because that's not a skill that you need for life today. But the internal skills, like respect and the values that a good home can provide for you, and the perspective that somebody who did grow up poor, like your dad or like yourself, or like I'm trying to teach them, that's still a good lesson to be made. Their kids, if I don't screw up my life and they don't screw up theirs, their kids are going to have a much harder time, because that perspective is going to get lost.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough money in this family to run everything for generations. It's just me having a nice life. Maybe they have a nice start, but it's not millions and millions that just go on and prosper and nobody has to do anything. But like the third generation, if we don't fuck up right now, it's gonna have a little harder time, because their perspective is gonna be different.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they're gonna live in a better place. All right, so they're not going to be in the shit streets that I grew up in. They don't have to go and fight somebody because of some idiot idea. They don't need to do that same stupid stuff that I did when I was growing up, because that's not their environment anymore. The environment here is amazing.
Yeah. Peaceful, quiet.
It's peaceful, everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, everybody likes you. That's an amazing place. It doesn't look anything like the place where I grew up.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping my kids can grow up and their kids can grow up in nicer and nicer places. So they don't need those tools, but we still need to give them the value of growing up poor. And I just love my life. I love it. I remember when we did have shit. And it was fun. It was fun as hell. We got stories, you have stories, I have stories, everybody has their own stories. And those stories are so fun, because they all start with, I didn't have shit, but, and then something fun happened.
Yeah.
And those are like the best moments, I think, in life. But I hope those moments can occur to everybody, and I'm sure they do. And it doesn't matter really where you're from. Maybe the risks are a little bit different. Maybe the perspective is a little bit different. And like we said, we love growing up poor, but everything's going to be okay for everybody, I think.
How do you think you're going to raise your kids, having money, having them...
But we don't have money. I don't have money.
But your kids see this house. It's a big house.
First of all, it's a rental house.
You have a pool, you have a nice car.
But it's a rental house.
You have a bunch of houses in Europe.
But the thing is that we have enough to sustain ourselves, but not to retire.
But it's It's more than most people have. You know, you are in the top, I don't know how much.
Maybe, but I still have to work every day.
Yeah.
All right. So we did save up. Me and my wife, we worked really hard. We did save up some money. We bought real estate for investments. We get some money from those apartments in different places, and we're kind of happy. But it doesn't close our month, you know, entirely. And the more you have, the more you spend. Because we could have lived in a smaller house, and right now I'm taking care of my parents as well, so it's a bigger family, right? So I could have only taken care of myself and like my wife and my kids, so we would have spent less. We could have lived in a smaller house, we could have spent less. But the more you have, the more you like to live your life, right? So it never ends in one hand. I do feel more stable right now, because if everything goes to shit, I do have a plan B, which I never had before.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the big old house. I'm moving to a nice apartment. I can cover all my bills from the real estate I got. I got some money saved up. I can like live the life for about a year or two or something like that, get a hold of myself and start over. Because of the tools we spoke in the beginning of the podcast, I'm sure I'll be able to make it. Not because of some real estate that I have. Because if I have enough room to breathe and I have enough oxygen just to gather myself up, I'm leaving the big house, I'm moving to an apartment, I'm just, you know, recalculating my expenses, and I have like a year to invent something, the tools that I gathered in my life will help me make more. So I'm scared less, but I'm not doing less. So it's kind of a different perspective. If I had, for example, like $10 million more invested in real estate, I would be pretty much settled for life in my kind of personal opinion, because 6-7% return on investment yearly from real estate, you can get that minus taxes, minus bullshit and stuff like that. If you're doing like $30K a month, you're living the life. You don't need more than that. You're living whatever you want. You're flying business, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're fine. But I'm not there yet. At least I'm not there. I do feel more comfortable. I don't feel like I have it. You know what I mean? Because today, even on YouTube, you see people who are spending millions, who are making millions monthly. I'm not in that category, not even close. I'm just more comfortable. I'm more comfortable. And first of all, I'm more comfortable with myself. Because I did this shit, and I'm really happy. Nobody gave me anything. Nobody, you know, helped me even in my route. I had a lot of luck experiencing certain bosses that I learned a lot from. I had a lot of luck using certain diversity as tools and trying and expanding myself and expanding my horizons. But in the end of the day, everything I have, I achieved. So I'm kind of content with myself. I'm not stopping. I'm working every day, because if not, I'm not going to close the month. I'm not going to achieve what I want in 2 years, in 3 years. But I'm kind of more laid back. That's it.
I think that today at 26, I'm chasing that feeling that you feel right now, that feeling of being comfortable, you know, with yourself, knowing that you have
12 years difference, right?
Yes, that's a lot.
But that's what it took. That's what it took.
Years. It's
exactly what it took.
It's all these anxieties, especially as a man, you know, I really want to start a family right now. Kind of thinking about it, you know, it's something that I want. I love the idea of having a little David walking around me, you know, taking care of him. I love kids. And you always think about that feeling in your head, that anxiety that you have, that you're not making enough money, I'm not comfortable yet. How can I bring children into the equation? Because then I'm actually going to need to bring results. Right now, if everything fails, I don't care where to live. I'm a man. I don't give a fuck. I can live in a tent in the woods. It's fine. When you have kids, you
but
actually
money is not going to change that. That's a delusion that we all have. You're 26 and you're having those feelings. I had them at 18, by the way.
Yeah, same.
And when I was thinking to myself, like, where I want to be, it was a never-ending journey. Never-ending. Every day, of every hour, of every minute, anxious and scared about what I'm going to do. When I was 22, 23, 24, I was sitting with my friends and telling them, I need to get out of this shit. I don't want to go to work. This is bullshit. This is just being enslaved. Everybody was making fun of me.
Yeah.
Everybody was making fun of me. I don't want to do this. I want to buy real estate. I want to have some apartments. I want to feel safe financially. I don't trust any part of the government. I don't trust any part of the pension. I think that's bullshit. Everybody make fun of me. But then 15 years later, they're calling and asking me about what do you think about this and about that.
Yeah.
And the only difference, in my opinion, is a few zeros in my bank account. Now, I'm not smarter than anybody else. I was just following what I feel is right.
Yeah.
And that's it. So the fact that you're feeling that right now, that's what's going to lead you to that. Because at 26, I didn't have shit.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything. You shouldn't have anything at 26. You're not a streamer that, was really lucky to find a game and started making NBA money. And I don't know how happy they really are, because that life is screwed up. If you're 25 and you all of a sudden have $20 million, something's going to get fucked in your life.
It's like celebrities. They just go insane at some point.
Yeah, because it's weird. You lose friends. You lose touch with reality. You lose touch with yourself. You don't understand. You stop progressing. You stop evolving as a person. You get stuck.
You kind of won life at a really young age.
And then you stuck.
Yeah.
And that's fucked. You lost your life because you have so much money. Obviously, you have people who... There's a guy, Frankie Muniz, I think. He was a child celebrity who made money, retired, became like a race car driver or something like that. Looks like a really cool guy. I don't have any information about him. But some people won that game.
No.
But most of them lost.
No.
If somebody's going to give you right now $50 million,
I'll go insane.
You're going insane.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your girlfriend. You're going to lose your parents. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to do stuff that you shouldn't do at this day and age. And you're just going to go crazy and you're going to lose all proportions. You're going to stop evolving as a person. You're going to stop growing as a person. And when you're 35 in like 10 years, when you're 45, your life is going to be total shit.
Yes, it's the best thing to like want to get somewhere, that progression that you feel. You should be able to enjoy the journey. If you never enjoyed the journey and you just got to your goal, it's bullshit. It's not fun.
I remember walking in Bat Yam in Israel and going like the same route and always dreaming like, oh man, I really want to win the lottery here. There's like, I really want to win the lottery. I don't need much, like 10 million shekels, like $3 million. I don't need much. I really don't need much. Just, oh God, I never put money because it's bullshit. But like, I really want to win it. 10 years later, I'm so happy I didn't want anything. I'm so thrilled I didn't want anything, because I remember each point to that sum. I remember each point in my life, each heartache, each like hard time, each celebration of a milestone. And that's worth so much more than just making the money.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. That's what I want to tell you. You want kids right now. That's cool. You want this. You want that. Those wants, it's what's going to make it happen. Because if you don't have those wants, it's never going to happen. And money is not going to help you with that, by the way. Money is going to make it more stable. More comfortable. But it's not going to be the thing that helps you or stops you.
Yeah.
Because, again, like the Stoic thing we talked about, if you're hiding behind the money to feel comfortable, then you're going to get fucked by the money. It's not what's going to help you. If you want that family, you need to calculate yourself. And you need to calculate yourself smartly, so you will be able to live your life with those kids and without making the millions. If you're able to calculate yourself in that situation, then you can only be better from that situation onward. For example, if you look at your life, you're 26, you're gonna for sure retire at 70. No chance in hell you're gonna work in 70, right? You're gonna get old, you're lazy right now, you're gonna get lazier only more and more. And 45, you're gonna be a grown-up. You're not going to be able to do so many flights, bad hours, and so many conferences. You're going to be more tired. You got to take that into consideration. When you're 55, it's not going to be possible. When your kids are older, you're going to have more time to yourself. When your kids are younger, you're going to have less time. You need to calculate those stages of your life to see when is the best time to put as much work as you can. When's the best time to think about slowing down because the kids are small and they need their dad around house? When is the time I can pick up myself again? How long will it really take me to build something? How long will it take me to get somewhere? Who the people I can trust in the journey? For example, your mom. Can your mom babysit?
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can trust your mother to help you in a certain situation when you have a conference. That's part of the calculation.
Yeah.
Who's your wife? What does she do for a living? How are you managing yourself in your relationship? Will you get the help you need? Will you be able to provide the help she needs while, you know, building yourself up? If you calculate everything, not precisely, but well enough, it's not going to be hard.
Yeah. You know what my fear is? My biggest fear as an entrepreneur is that in that equation there are too many X's and Y's, and that's the problem.
Everything's going to get fucked up.
Yeah, and if you work a stable job and you know that you get X amount of money every single month, you kind of can calculate it. You can say, okay, this is
calculate other things, not money. Stop calculating money. Money is not the savior. Calculate everything else. And money is one of the things that are, you know, it's very important. Obviously, we talk about money all the time. We need it for comfort, but it's not something what's going to stop you from achieving something. And it's not something that is the prize, you know, and everything. It's just a little prize at the end.
You know, there's this fear, I think, because we're Soviet, because we grew up in that kind of environment. I remember my mom, when I was a kid, they were constantly in a minus in a bank, you know, constantly taking out loans, trying to...
maxing out credit cards.
Yes, exactly. They couldn't buy me anything. Like, Mom, I want this candy, I want this toy. No, we can't afford themselves. So I'm scared that this is going to be the life of my children. I obviously want to give them the best that I can. I don't want them to live with no money. I want to buy them that toy. I want to not live in maxed credit cards.
Do you have more tools than your parents had?
Yes, a lot of more tools.
Then you're not going to be in the same situation that your parents were.
Yes, but I think that it's kind of difficult when you're an entrepreneur. I think I can't go and work in a factory like
you're
my
not
dad
supposed
did.
to. That's cool. You're not supposed to. But for you, that's going to be a failure, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go to that factory. You're going to work for 1 month. You're going to regroup, and then you're going to go and win.
Probably.
That's it.
It's stupid fears.
Yeah. So no need to fear that. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Just regroup for 1 month. The fact that our parents left the Soviet Union in the 90s and your parents left Ukraine later on, and being an immigrant in Israel, which is a different environment altogether.
Yeah.
Just being an immigrant, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what nation you're in, doesn't matter what nation you're from. Just being an immigrant in a new place, you do watch your parents go and struggle like hell. But today, with the internet, with the tools you have that are, you know, you can work in any place you want in the world. Today, you are coming out of your comfort zone and doing a podcast. It's something that they were not able to do. They were not able to think about things like that because they were surviving. You're not in a survival kind of mode. You still have the fears of a survivor because we were brought up on that. I still have the fears of a survivor because we were brought up on that. My dad is unbelievable in that thing. Like, I live with my dad right now. You met him. It's a nice guy. It's cool. But he was like, we can't trust that. Like, why, Dad? This is, you know, we're in Europe. Everything's cool. We like, everything's paid for. No, not good.
Survival mode.
Yeah, because he grew up on that and he lived most of his life like that. So that's kind of the forming factors of his brain, of his soul, of his everything. You and I don't have those forming factors as much as they did. You're not an immigrant. You will never be an immigrant. I'm right now living in the third country in my life. I was an immigrant from the Soviet Union to Israel. I'm not an immigrant from Israel to Spain. That's it. I'm an expat.
That's a nice way to say that.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing. I feel at home. I feel comfortable. I know different languages. I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not fighting for survival. I'm not in that kind of a situation. So that's totally different. If you take another family right now living in Europe that came from Africa, or again came from a really hard zone that today is still a hard zone as the Soviet Union was back in the day, they're immigrants and they're having a tough time. That's the mom you see, working her ass off. That's the dad you see working the 2 jobs. And we can understand that. We can relate to that because we saw them in our home. Maybe it's a different color. Maybe it's a different religion. Maybe it's a different nationality. It doesn't matter what. We know how that looks. You will never be that. I will never be that again.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different world for us.
Yeah.
So the fears should change as well. That's what I'm thinking.
I guess it's just anxieties, bringing my upbringing and all of that, just seeing your parents struggle like that. It's a shitty feeling, and my goals. I want to move from Israel. I want to move to Europe and stuff like that. There are visa problems and all of that bullshit. There are a lot of bullshit around, and honestly, it's all anxiety. I know that. I know that right now I can.
But it's hard as well. It's hard.
Yeah, but if I really wanted to, if I really went against my anxieties, I could have get a visa, expat visa. There are a lot of things available right now in Europe. I could get a nice house, a nice apartment in Barcelona and Madrid and Valencia or Italy. I don't know, whatever it is that I decide in the end of the day. But there's always anxieties, especially when you
make them your friend.
Probably, I should.
It's hard. It's hard for everybody. The visas are hard. Moving is hard. But the harder something is, less people are going to do it. So the prize in the end is bigger.
Yeah. Trying to get myself out of the comfort zone, like we talked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
You want better stuff, you need to do more to get them.
Yeah.
If you just want to do the same old things that everybody else is doing, you're going to end up with the same old result that everybody else is having.
High risk, high reward.
Maybe, yeah.
I think risking it and,
But it's not really a risk, right? Like we said.
Moving abroad and
it's not a risk, you can go back.
Yeah, you can. You can, but... Yeah.
You just don't want to go back with your tail between your legs.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's scary. You don't want people to tell you, I told you so, but at the end of the day, if I do make that kind of decision, you move somewhere, you start spending a lot of money on rent, you start getting visa issues and stuff like that, I think it matures you and you make more money. Because of that, you have experiences to tell.
It's like in Hebrew, they tell you kids are a blessing. It's not a blessing. You just start to working harder. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the truth. I think if I have kids, I will work, 10 times more.
Of course.
Because you really want to provide for them. You want to give them the best life.
You're going to be more scared, and you're going to put more effort.
Yeah.